Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Chris here, and today we are sitting down in my little lounge here. It's just the basement. It's basically, well, it's got a couple bookshelves up. It's got some booze on it, as you can kind of see behind me. Nothing too crazy. You got a couple chairs here, so you guys are always welcome to come over anytime you like and sample and sit around and have some good time. But anyway, we are doing Countdown to Whiskey Fest, and we are going to go through Davin's book in this video. We, at the end of February, beginning of March, we have what's called Whiskey Fest here. A lot of cities have it, but that's when ours is. And so I thought I would do some sampling of some of the booze that may be there or may not be there. I'm just going to pick some stuff out that I'm going to like and I think that you guys may like. And because there's going to be a lot of Canadian whiskey there, I thought I would go through Davin's book. And what we're going to do, we're going to read through this book. Well, I'm going to read through this book, and then I'm going to give you the Coles Notes version of it. And then we'll kind of go through it together. We're going to talk about, basically what he's talking about in here, maybe some of the whiskeys that he has got mentioned in there. We're going to sample it. We're going to talk about this book. This is a really, really interesting book. If you haven't got a hold of it yet, I would definitely suggest you do that. I know a lot of Americans really, really like Canadian whiskey as well, especially Crown Royal. It's kind of a big thing down there. And we can't get all the good stuff the Americans can get, even though it's produced 45 minutes, literally 45 minutes from where I live. We can only get the basic stuff, so which kind of sucks, but what are you going to do? But anyway, we're going to talk about this book here, which is going to be, and this February is going to be like Countdown to Whiskey Fest. So, but let's get into Davin's book here. This is the Canadian Whisky, the Essential Portable Expert. It's really, really, really good book. And in chapter 1, he talks about the grains and the history behind the grains, where they come from, and what type of distilleries use those particular grains. So he's at the beginning, he talks about the origin of them and where they came from. And the grains in mention are barley, corn, rye, and wheat. So barley, it came from England and the Netherlands, and not Scotland, like a lot of people think that it has come from. And because Scotland is known for its single malt scotches, even though most scotches are not single malt, they are still really, really, really famous for their single malt scotches. But anyway, barley did not come from Scotland, like a lot of people think. It came from England and Netherlands. Wheat, it arrived from England and other parts of Europe, and rye came from Germany and the Netherlands. And corn itself, was kind of native to North America. So corn was around 6,000 years before Jacques Cartier and the other Europeans kind of made their way over here. So we've always kind of had corn, and corn is it gives that sweet, fruity notes to it, and a lot of distilleries now are using corn in their whiskey. One, because of the flavor. Two, because you can heat it up, and you can get Canadians like corn because you can get a lot higher alcohol content out of it. So it's a Canadian way, right? More alcohol we can get out of something, the more we're going to actually use it. So corn is used quite extensively in a lot of our whiskeys. The wheat itself is more artisanal type of grain they'll put into certain whiskeys. You'll see like winter wheat, and whatever. But wheat itself doesn't have a whole heck of a lot of flavor to it. It's got some sweetness or whatever, and I know when the Germans they came over, and they really loved their wheat, and they settled in places like Pittsburgh, like Pennsylvania. They started some distilleries down there, and then there's one guy who came up, and it was in Canada, Berlin, which is called Waterloo now. And they had a kind of a wheat distillery going on there, and they would use the wheat for excess cattle feed as well, but they would distill it and they would make booze out of it. But they were like, man, I really, really, really kind of miss our rye schnapps and all this stuff. So they started going to Upper Canada and they started producing all of this more of the rye flavored whiskeys, because they like that spice, they like that intensity, they like the flavors to it. So we kind of went to the into the background earlier on in the Canadian history of whiskey. And because of the popularity in the flavor of this rye grain in the whiskey, everybody really in Canada really dug the rye content and that extra spice. And even though we've got like 4 different types, I mean, probably have more than that, but the main ones, like I said, are corn, barley, rye, and wheat. Because rye became so popular in whiskey production back in the day, it got a nickname of like Canadian whiskey just became rye. You know, like you go to a social and they'll be like, "Oh, give me a rye and Coke," you know. A social is a Manitoba thing. I lived all over Canada, been all over Canada and the States, and nobody does socials. So I remember living in Vancouver Island, and I said, "Oh, well, friends were getting married." And I said, "Oh, are you guys going to do a social?" They're like, "What the hell's a social?" I'm like, "What do you mean, what's a social? Socials are awesome." And I never heard of it. And I said, "Well, you sell tickets, you get some prizes, you sell a bunch of booze, you make a ton of money." And they're like, "So you sell tickets for people to come to your party to win some prizes that you go and ask for people to donate for free, and then you sell booze at it and you make money off of that?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Why isn't everybody doing it?" I don't know. It's a Manitoba thing. But you know what never took off in any other provinces? Nobody does socials other than Manitoba. But any social you go to, I mean, we had socials for like our hockey team. We needed beer for the hockey team. We wanted, when I was in university, we wanted tickets to the Motley Crue concert, so we did socials and stuff. We did socials for everything, and they're so popular. But anyway, you go to a social and they say, "Give me a rye and Coke." So they would just get you basically a whiskey and Coke, but everybody call it rye and Coke. So anyway, that became the nickname. I think it's kind of slowly going away now. Now people are like, "Oh, I'll have a whiskey and Coke, or Jack and Coke, or whatever." But back in the day, even up until recently, it was rye and Coke, or rum and Coke, whatever. And rye is still used in a lot of distilleries, such as like Wiser's and Crown Royal, and whiskey distilleries like that. They do like that spice and that rye content. So quite a bit of rye is still used in certain of these bigger places. But barley, because malted barley costs so much money to malt, and is mostly used in breweries for making beer. But when the barley prices started to drop, some of these bigger companies like Crown Royal, for example, Wiser's, they started using malted barley as well to experiment in some of their single malts. Like I've got a bunch of single malts, but we're going to look at one of these guys here, this Shelter Point single malts, 10-year-old. So after the barley prices started to drop, a lot of these bigger companies started to experiment with it. So more so, it used to be more of smaller companies, more of the artisanal type of whiskey distilleries that would use malted barley or barley, and because these bigger distilleries already have their mash bill already set, so they wouldn't really kind of go away from it. When prices started to drop, it kind of made sense for them to kind of go into it and start trying and experimenting with other different types of grains in their whiskey. And you'll find that most of the barley produced here in Canada are in Saskatchewan and Alberta, because it really likes the soil and the conditions and the temperature conditions, and it just really thrives really well out of there. So a lot of the distilleries that are there, they take kind of advantage of that as well, because they don't have to ship it very far, right? So they can kind of just use it there and really experiment with barley there. And rye is really good on the cold, and it really resists droughts and floods. So it's a really hardy grain to use as well. It produces less alcohol than corn, but it has a more flavor than say things like wheat or unmalted barley. Corn's got a lot of sweetness, some fruity notes to it, but the rye's got the spice. So when they start mixing the stuff up, with different types of grains, you can really get a lot of really great whiskeys out of it. And because Canada is Canada, we don't have a lot of these really strict rules that say Scotland has or bourbon country has. It's kind of still the Wild West here in Canada, so we can get away with a lot of really great things. Same with our wines, and produce a lot of really interesting whiskeys. So yeah, it's kind of the place to be. So anyway, we are going to try a few whiskeys here, and we're going to start off with, I believe it's in this book. I haven't seen it in the first chapter because we just got into the first chapter here. He's got some whiskeys in here noted, like I just really love this book, and it's got some some really great photos in there of different types of whiskeys to try and tasting notes beside it and everything. I don't have those ones. So he's got Century Reserve 21, Masterson 10-year-old straight barley, the Masterson's 12-year-old straight wheat, North of 7 single rye cask, tumbleweed, still water. So I don't have any of those, but I do have others that I'm sure is probably in here in some point. But we tried one the other day, and this is the Gibson's 8-year-old bold. It was really good. But anyway, we are going to try to start off with here the Wiser's 18-year-old. And the Wiser's 18-year-old, I was at the distillery a few times when I was flying out of Toronto. When I was with Air Canada Jazz on the Dash 8, we would fly into Windsor. And Windsor was a great little town. It was right on the river, right across from Detroit. Really nice views there. But they had the Wiser's distillery there, which is really cool. So we would go over there quite a bit to try things out. This 18-year-old here is 100% corn whiskey. And it is, I'm not sure how this one here is matured. It's either in ex-Canadian, ex-American bourbon, virgin oak, or wine cask. So I'm not 100% sure. I'm 100% sure though it was colored and chill filtered. But this is a really nice nice whiskey, and it's a double column stilled whiskey, and you're gonna get notes of like some caramel out of it, some green apple because of the ethyl acetate, which is that gives you that green apple notes to it. Should be some, probably a little bit of leather to this one here. Like I said, some vanilla, some caramel notes, some red fruity notes to this one. But let's give it a shot. And you can see I've only had just a little tiny bit out of it. So let's reopen this one up, try this out. So anyway, let's give this a try and see if my tasting notes are still on point. Oh, it's a nice pop. It smells really nice. You could definitely get the green apple smell out of it when you open this thing up. It's only at 40%. That's why I said it's definitely 100% colored and chill filtered. If they did not, this would be pretty clear. But that's okay, because I mean, as long as whiskey's good, it's good, right? So I don't care if it's chill filtered or colored or not, but you prefer not to have coloring, and you prefer not to have chill filtering to it, because they take a lot of the flavors out of the chill filtration. And they chill filter it because if you add water to it, you get something that's called, they call it the Scotch mist. So your whiskey gets little like foggy and stuff like that. So I guess people don't like that. I think that's a great sign of non-chill filtration, and that all the flavors are still there in their whiskey. But like I said, if it's good, it's good. So I really don't care what they do to it. So as long as they don't pee in it or poison it of some sort. But yeah, you can see that it's, yeah, if you can smell it, there's a lot of green apple into it, so it's definitely that ethyl acetate that they've got in it. Yeah, a lot of Granny Smith green apple. Well, not Granny Smith green apples, but just like, yeah, those green apples. I forget the name of them. They're not Granny Smith, but they're something else. It's all I'm kind of getting right now is the green apple, a little bit of vanilla, a little tiny bit of butterscotch. I think more of the vanilla because of the oak influence on here. So I'm not sure if it was virgin oak that they've used or if it's ex bourbon cask. You can see that the legs on here is fairly decent for 40%. So it's a fairly viscous whiskey. Yeah, this is really nice. Really, really nice. You got some of the, it's corn, but because it's been sitting for like 18 years in probably either a bourbon oak or could be virgin oak. I'm not 100% sure. They don't really tell you. But you do get some of those rye spice notes to it because of how long it's been sitting in these casks. So it's got a tiny bit of spice to it, even though it's 100% corn. You definitely have the vanilla, the butterscotch notes to it. Not much of the green apple notes on the taste, but definitely on the nose. And a little bit of sourdough notes to it as well. This is really nice stuff. I haven't had this in a long time. But yeah, this is really quite nice. The next one we are going to try the Shelter Point. And this is a Shelter Point 10-year-old. And you know what? They sent this to me. I have shared the crap out of this here. Like I've had maybe about this, maybe about that much myself because I've been sharing it with everybody. So about up to here, but the rest of it, it's all been shared. Like I've been giving this to everybody that's come over. I brought this to Whiskey Club. I've sent free samples out to winners in my YouTube subscribers when I did some giveaways for that. But this is produced and made in Vancouver Island, and it was very close to where I used to live when I lived out there. I started off in Nanaimo, lived in a little basement apartment with two of my buddies, Dean and Billy, down in Commercial Street, and then moved up to Courtenay, and then between Courtenay and Campbell River, and they are close to Campbell River. It's just absolutely beautiful out there, and there's a lot of influence of the Pacific Ocean in all of their whiskeys, because all of their warehouse is located right beside the ocean, so you get all that ocean spray, you get all those temperature changes from night to day, winter to summer, spring to fall kind of thing, and so there's a lot of really good coastal influence in this. And these guys are just really great, and they're really doing it right. This is a 10-year-old single malt, so it is malted barley. So let's open this guy up here. I haven't had this one in I don't know, probably a good, oh my god, it smells so good. Probably a good 2 months, month and a half. Kind of savoring it because we actually can't get it here. Yeah, they had a bottle, and they told their rep, they said, you get it to that goofy guy, that Chris Jensen guy, and see what he thinks of it. But it's at 46% here too, and it's just such a really nice whiskey, and I was totally blown away. And they were the first whiskey company to actually send me a bottle of whiskey to sample and to share. So I'll always be forever grateful to them for that, and I really do appreciate it. I was totally blown away, you know, when it was given to me. I got the call from the rep, and they said, "Hey, you got to come pick it up, you know, or we can get together." So we did, and I was just like, why me? Like, I was nobody. I think I had maybe 300, 250 subscribers at the time, and it was a real honor and a real surprise. So I'll always be grateful to Shelter Point for that, and always thankful to them. So I really truly do appreciate it. At the end of all of my videos, you'll see that have the outro there, and it has my Patreon subscribers, my YouTube, my PayPal, people that have helped me out on PayPal, and then all of my companies that have sent me things for review or a review to give away. And so I make sure that I mention all of them with their website and everything like that. So I definitely mention them in every single solitary video. So check it out, and you'll be able to see who's been a helper to this channel, because I really truly do appreciate it a lot. It makes it a lot more fun, and it makes it a lot more. I get things that I wouldn't be able to normally get because of these people and these companies, and I really truly do appreciate it. And I'll always be promoting them, and I'll always have them in my outro, and I'll always be pumping them hard, because these companies that I believe in as well. So I do appreciate it a lot. And wow, yeah, this is really nice. Yeah, a lot of really nice, there's marzipan in it, you got some milk chocolate, you got some apple pie notes to this, a bit of spice. Definitely smell some butterscotch and caramel to it. This is distilled in a copper pot still, and it is aged in American oak barrels. And like I said, it's right on the ocean. You can see, the viscosity in this here. The legs are really nice. Yeah. Yeah, wow. This is really good. A lot more spicier than the 18-year-old Wisers. This is malted barley over 100% corn. Yeah, just there's a lot going on to this one. Really flavorful. Really complex. You can definitely taste the Pacific Ocean and the sea air that this coastal influence on this whiskey. Lots of marzipan, lots of some really nice spice to this one here. Some vanilla notes, caramel, like spiced apple pie notes to this one. You've got some leathery notes, a little bit of cigar box flavors to it. Just really nice. Bit of tobacco-y notes, but more, it's kind of on the back end, but you've got those complex, earthy tobacco kind of notes to this as well. And it has opened up really nicely. When I first got it, I remember how good it was. But now that it's opened up, boy, is this ever good. If you can get a chance to get one of those bottles, I would 100% do it. If you can get a bottle of any of the Shelter Points, definitely do it, because a lot of the times Shelter Point makes them in very limited amounts. So once they're gone, they're gone. So if you see something you like, don't sit on it. Just get it. That's all I can say is, you see Shelter Point, just buy it. That's because there's a chance that once it's gone, you'll never see it again. So, and they always do such a great job. This is really good. It's so mouth coating and just mouth watering. Like you're just salivating. Like the flavors on this thing is crazy. But I mean, I'm very partial and a massive fan of Shelter Point. And one of the, I mean, there's so many reasons why, but one of the reasons is because I used to live out there, and just those memories are just flooding back to me every time I have something from Shelter Point, because I lived right on the ocean, and it's those smells and those tastes in the air that got this in the whiskey, and it's just amazing. If you've ever visited the west coast of anywhere, like if you've been down to California, you've been up to Washington State, you've been to Vancouver Island, Vancouver, like BC, you will taste the Pacific Ocean coastal notes to it. So if you even if you haven't been to Vancouver Island, it's still there. I mean, I lived in California for quite a while. I lived in Vancouver Island for quite a while, and it has those notes, it has those tastes. You know, California and Vancouver Island are a little different, but it definitely has the Pacific coastal influences in this whiskey, and it's just absolutely perfect. Like, it is just perfect. God, I love this stuff. I just really wish we could get it here. Another favorite of mine is their Smoke Point. That is on a completely different level itself, because, I mean, all of the flavors in the Smoke Point, it just reminds me of living out there. It's crazy. I've done a video on Smoke Point. We'll probably do some more Smoke Point stuff. I've got a little bit left when we go through this. Even if it's not in here, I'm still going to bring it in, because it's one of my favorite Canadian whiskeys. With Smoke Point, they've nailed it. It is for me, it's one of the perfect Canadian whiskeys, because it just floods back so many memories, but it tastes amazing. Like, really good, really good. And if you like a smoky peated Isla Scotch, it's very similar to that, but with a Canadian Pacific twist to it. It's really good. You should try it. Wow. Oh my God, was that ever good. Little, you got some red fruits in there too, kind of on the finish, with the spice and stuff like that, like almost like caramel apples and stuff that you would get at the fair. It's so good. Next and last one we are going to try for this one here, because figured we should do, at least 1 to 3 per video. You don't need to see Chris getting all liquored up. No one needs to see that. I haven't been like that since I was like 19 when I started. It wasn't good when I was a kid. It was terrible. Because you're just a stupid little kid, right? So all you did was drink to get drunk, because you're just a dumbass, And then a little voice inside my head would go, if you haven't had a drink, you're going to get sick and throw up. And I'm like, shut up, I know what I'm doing. And yeah, sure enough, I get sick and throw up and make an ass of myself. So at the age of 19, actually at the age of 18 was the last time I got sick. 19 was the last time I got drunk. I just don't get to that point. I just don't like that feeling of that out of control kind of feeling, and it's more fun to sit around and watch everyone else get all liquored up. But it's still nice to have some drinks, right? So, and I really do enjoy the flavors and the taste of this. I just don't like getting drunk. I just don't do it anymore. I don't know. I think I would be wrecked for at least a week to 2 weeks if I got all drunk again. So it's just, it's just not for me. But I do like the taste of this stuff. But we are going to try from Highwood Distillery. You can see it's a fake cork here, but it does the job. And this is really good. This is one of the best, probably top 5, in my opinion, budget whiskeys that you can get here in Canada. It's 45% alcohol. It's called the 90. It's a 5-year-old whiskey, so they call it the 90 because it's 45% or 90 proof for my American friends. And let's put this down here. And it is, oh God, it smells good. It's 100% corn whiskey. So we did 100% barley. We did 100% corn with the 18-year-old Wisers. And we're going to do another 100% corn. But this is a very different 100% corn whiskey than the 18-year-old. This one has got a ton, like I mean a ton of rye spice. And you swear to God, if you're drinking this, you would swear to God that this was a rye whiskey. And it's not. It has no rye in it whatsoever. And the reason for that is because it was aged for 5 years in heavily charred oak barrels. So it's giving it that rye influence without the rye actually being in there, right? So this is that char that they put in the barrel really gives it that rye influence to it. Whereas the Wisers, it could have been like an ex-bourbon barrel, could have been a virgin oak, could have been a Canadian cask, or it could have been an ex-red, like an ex-wine cask. I don't know what that was housed in, but it was not a heavily charred cask. This was, and it is 45%, whereas the Wisers was 40%. And man, I wish you guys were here right now to try this with me. And it's so cheap. Like here in Winnipeg, the 18-year-old Wisers, it's $90. It was 80, but now it's 90. This is like $30, $28, $25 on sale, but it's around the $30 mark. And I mean, I really love the 18-year-old Wisers, and it's really, really, really good, and just so smooth and elegant and flavorful, and just there's a lot going on to it. This is totally a different beast altogether, and a third of the price. Yeah. Well, your mouth is just completely coated in water, and massive rye spice to this, like cinnamon rye spice to it. Some butterscotch notes to this one. It is really good, really, really good. It's a fan favorite to most Canadians that like Canadian whiskey, because it's so inexpensive, crazy flavorful, higher ABV, and it's got that spice and complexity to it. It's a really, really good whiskey. This Highwood, the 90, a 5-year-old. It's excellent, excellent, excellent whiskey. Yeah, I really do like this one. Get your hands on it, pick it up for sure. A lot of people will kind of shy away from these cheaper ones, going, it's crap, it's cheap, it can't be good. It's not the case, not at all. That is a very, 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 very good whiskey. It's won so many different awards. Same with the Wisers 8-year-old Bold. I probably wouldn't have tried it because I was under that mindset. Like, it's pretty cheap. It's like, I believe when I bought it, it was maybe 24, 25 bucks. I think it was on sale. Definitely remember it was on sale. But I think it sits around $28 to $30 anyway. But it's an 8-year-old. And I was kind of looking at it before, but I thought, no, I'm not going to get it. Well, my little brother, Toddy, was garage drinking one night. And I said, what you got going on there, Toddy? He's like, bro, you want to have drinks? And I'm like, absolutely. So I forget what I pulled out. But anyway, he was drinking that. And I said, is it any good? And he goes, oh, yeah, this is really good. So next day, I went out and bought a bottle of it. And lucky me, it was on sale. I tried it. I was like, God damn it, is this ever good? Like, holy crap. So if it wasn't for little Dottie, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But it is, I'm really happy I did, because it is really, 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 really good. especially for like under 30 bucks, 8 years old. It's nice. The Gibson 8-year-old Bold is a very good whiskey. It's like the same as the 90, the 5-year-old. And both like 45, 46% ABV. I think that's what the 8-year-old, I think it's 46. I think I'd have to go and look again, but the 90 is definitely 45, and it's really nice. It is really, really nice. This is just such an easygoing drink. It's so smooth, so easy to drink. It's very, very crushable, but you get yourself into a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble with whiskeys like this because they're just so smooth and easy to drink, and so goddamn cheap too. So it's, you know, you're not hurting the bank. So it's like, it's 30 bucks. I can have a few more of those. Well, I don't know. I think you'd be getting yourself into a lot of trouble before you know it. You're up on the roof running around. No, wait, that was Chris when he was like 18. Yeah, it wasn't good. Yeah. Chris used to go on the roof once in a while when he would get all liquored up at the age of like 18, 19 years old, and jumping through bonfires. Yeah, it wasn't a good scene. Did a lot of dumb things when I was younger, when I was on the influence of a lot of booze. Yeah, it wasn't good at all. But one memory of getting all liquored up turned out really, really good for me. Well, a lot of things I think that turned out pretty good for me because Chris was entertaining when he was drunk. But I remember one time I was at the Balmoral social, Halloween social in Balmoral, Manitoba, which is just north of Stonewall where I grew up. So I went out there, got all liquored up, dancing around on tables with my good friend Amy Harden's witch hat on, and yeah, it was a very entertaining night, and so entertaining that I met my very first girlfriend that night, and that was good. I think I was 17. Yeah, I think I was maybe 16 or 17 years old there, and I guess I was impressive enough that she thought I was kind of cool and a bit of an idiot. So she got me through my I think I was 17 because I'm very good with math now, but when I was a kid I was not so great at math. In fact, I had to go to summer school in grade 10 math because of this one particular person. My very first girlfriend, who's still a very close friend of mine, she got me through math, and I'll always be grateful to that. And it just clicked, you know, like the teacher wasn't, I guess, teaching it properly, and I wasn't catching on to it. You know, it was like a different language altogether. And then she sat down and she said, "Hey, well, maybe you should start like thinking of it this way and doing it this way." And then the light bulb went off, and I was like, "Crap, this is easy." So yeah, it just goes to show you, you know, like one way isn't always the right way, right? So thank you for that. I use it every day in my photography, you know, because exposure is just math, lighting formula is just math. When I was a pilot for 21 years, that was just all math. So and it just became very, very, very easy to me. So, but anyway, that was really, really good. So we did the 90 from Highwood at 45%. We did the Shelter Point 10-year-old single malt, which is 100% barley at 46%. The Highwood was 100% corn, and this one here, the 18-year-old Wisers, another 100% corn, but aged very differently in different casks. So different flavors, different notes to it. That was 100% corn, and this was at 40%. So that is all we've got here going on for today. We're going to do another video as we do Countdown to Whiskey Fest. We're going to do some honoring of our amazing American friends. that will not be, unfortunately, will not be present at our whiskey fest this year. And I know my buddy Joel and I, we're really, really, really looking forward to getting some of this, more of the rare American whiskey for our whiskey club. And unfortunately, that's not going to happen, which really sucks. And because Americans don't really know how to make really great whiskey and bourbon. So, guys, my American friends and viewers, we're really going to miss you guys. But, you know, we will definitely be in our thoughts. And hopefully Davin will be there, because if he is, I'm going to give him a sign my book. But we're going to be going through all of Davin's book here over the year. We're going to do as much as we can for Countdown to Whiskey Fest. And we're going to try as many different Canadian whiskeys in here that I have. So if I have it, we're going to open it up and we are going to try it out. Like I can see, I've got one. Oh, I've only got one. I thought I had more. One on this page here. So I've got the Dillon's 3. God, I had more. Oh, I got Patent 5. I don't have that one. Oh, Jesus, that was a hard one to get. The Patent 5. My buddy Christian, he's the master distiller at Patent 5 here in Winnipeg. That's a crazy, 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 great distillery. Well, he's got the Patent 5 single barrel release number 1 in here. That went so goddamn fast. It was crazy. Oh yeah, he's got the Shelter Point that we just tried here. So we might have to try this one again just for shits and giggles later on, because when we get to that point at the end, might as well, eh? Yeah, so anyway, that is that. So Countdown to Whiskey Fest this month in February. We're going to be going through a lot of Davin's book here. We're going to honor some of our awesome American friends and colleagues because they're not going to be present, unfortunately, because of the tariffs, which I think is just so freaking stupid that they would take the booze off our shelves that have already been paid for. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. There's going to be a lot more going on. We're going to be doing probably some more watch reviews. This is my awesome Knopf here, the Apex that Larry and Gage had sent me there. It was a Kickstarter, really great microbrand watch. Absolutely love this watch. I've been wearing it all the time. It's a beautiful automatic, and you can see it's 40 millimeters, so it's not too small on my wrist either. And I've got about an 8, almost an 8.5, but probably an 8.3 inch wrist. So, and it's not even small on that. So it just fits so good. I've got so many compliments on this already. So yeah, there's going to be a lot more to come here. So please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really, truly appreciate it. Yeah, a lot more going to come. Share this with anyone who may have some value to this kind of stuff that we're putting out. And yeah, we'll talk to you real soon. Thanks for watching, and have yourself a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.